I'm Sheila Umberger. I'm the Director of Libraries for Roanoke City, and the library is the lead on the All-America City Award for the Campaign for Grade Level Reading, and we call our campaign Star City Reads.
Great. Now, how and why is school readiness important to your work?
It's been a very easy transition for us to work even deeper in the campaign because it's really a core mission of all libraries, but it's a core mission in general in our community to work with preschool and having our children ready for kindergarten. The most important thing, though, is it's so important that we have children ready to learn the first day they walk into kindergarten, because we all know, and what I've learned even more in the campaign, is if they're not ready, then we end up trying to catch up, and that's really hard to do. It's much easier if we really focus on preschool, which is what we've done in Roanoke, and make sure that those scores go up, and so our children will be reading on grade level by third grade.
Great. Well, what have you done to promote school readiness?
I guess we're sitting in a space right here that is very literacy rich. So if your community has the opportunity to improve their facilities, think about it from a preschool parent engagement direction. It's very important that you have facilities or places where parents will want to come and be engaged. And what I mean by that is, think about programs that might go deep into the community, maybe things that are non-traditional that would attract a parent, and they may bring them there because they think this is good for my child to be ready for kindergarten, but you also may attract people that have not thought about that or maybe don't have that background. So I'll give you 3 examples. We have a program called Books on Buses, which we've done with our Valley Metro. Again, that's non-traditional. People are talking about reading to their children as we give books away. Another very successful program Roanoke did this year was called Feed and Read with the YMCA, and we fed almost 4,000 children every day in the library, and instead of just giving out the lunches, we actually had literacy-based programs that went on during that time. And also look at your ESL population. In our particular situation, we have a lot of ESL children, and we know statistically that only 42% in Roanoke are ready for kindergarten. That's a really big number for us to look at. So we're starting a preschool parent engagement with a group called Blue Ridge Literacy here in Roanoke. So again, look around, look deep into your community, and promote preschool learning.
What challenges have you faced, and how have you addressed them?
Well, we want to make sure that all our partners are on the same page. When we look around our community, a lot of people are doing a lot of good for children. I think what our campaign has brought to the table is we're talking to each other. We're saying, oh, you do that better than me. Let's work together. Let's face it, we all have limited resources. It seems simple, but it's really worked for us. And we've learned a lot about each other, and we support each other. Also, the most important thing that's a big thing in our campaign is really using the data. So if you're not in the scorecard that's offered by the campaign, I would highly recommend that you look at that because it's allowed us to work together again and share data, but also drill down, because the ESL one is what I'm talking about. We can identify which schools students that have those lower scores are in. So don't just look at your big overall score and say, oh, you know, we're doing okay or we're doing the best we can. What we found is we're doing okay in some places, but other places we aren't, and so that's where we're focusing our work.
Wonderful. What advice or resources would you recommend to others in your sector?
Well, I mean, one of the most important partners, and we hear this from other campaigns that it is important, is make sure that you engage your school system. I mean, we work with preschoolers, we work with students after in our organization, the library, but the schools are a very important partner. So I would highly recommend that you call the school superintendent, connect, because they have a lot of data that they can share and also a lot of expertise. I also would want to make sure that you engage your local politicians here in Roanoke. Our mayor is very involved. He's actually been involved in the campaign on one of the boards, and also the city manager and city council. We have city council members that are Star City readers, and I think that having that buy-in and that support is super important to the campaign. but also involving I'll go back to what I talked about originally a few minutes ago, is involve your non-traditional partners. And we started out with 6 core partners when we won the campaign, when we were in the campaign for grade level reading process. And now we've engaged the police department, the Roanoke Children's Theater, the Symphony, Valley Metro, businesses at the Chamber of Commerce. And that has caused the Star City Reads campaign to be more of a community grassroots campaign. And I think that what you don't want to happen is say, oh yes, this, like the traditional partners, the schools, Tap Head Start, the library, oh yes, they're taking care of preschool for our community, we don't have to worry about it. No, that's not the case. I mean, that's certainly our core mission, but unless the others in your community realize that this is an important issue, you'll be less successful. So that's worked for us well here in Roanoke. We're now up to over 15 partners, and if we say Star City Reads, people know what we're talking about.